I think of you, hero, I think you're a half measure. I think you're a man who can't finish the job. I think that you're a coward. You know the one thing that you just can't see? You know you're one bad day away from being me. Welcome to the Pixel Pop Movie Podcast. I am your host, Toby. This fortnight I am joined by the always got his nose in the news, Ethan.
Oh, that's me.
That's you. And we've got some fresh meat on the podcast this fortnight. We'd like to welcome a regular on the PPN team, but first time to the podcast, Connor.
Please be gentle.
Extra loop. Okay. This fortnight, we don't have a massive amount of news, but we do have some, I wouldn't say controversial, but we have some pretty interesting news, some big news. So we'll be getting through that. Then we're going to be taking a look at The Haunting of Hill House in both spoiler-free and a little bit of spoiler chat. Of course, we'll warn you when that happens. And then afterwards, we're going to dump some spoiler-free Daredevil Season 3 on you. Probably a little too soon for spoilers, so we won't get into that. Jesse was going to join us, but he's been washed out with a storm and has no internet, so unfortunately we can't get his El Royale, whatever it was, movie review, but hopefully we can get something written out of him so we know what his thoughts are on that film. But before we jump into all that, let's start off with the news. Please take us away, Ethan.
So the Dresden Files, which apparently is a fantasy novel series, is being optioned for a new TV show.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be hyped for this one.
I've never heard of this at all. Apparently it was done from the Sci-Fi Channel, did it in 2007.
Yes,
episodes.
so he's basically it's like a noir detective series of stories, but he's a spellcaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's hugely popular. I haven't read them, so I don't want to say too much because I'd probably sound like an ignorant idiot more than I normally do. But yeah, like there's a pretty big cult following behind these books, and there's going to be a lot of people. Sort of like there's so many book adaptations coming out at the moment too, right? Like everyone's just optioning the shit out of everything. Yeah, and Amazon and others. Like we've got Wheel of Time, we've got Pratchett's adaptations, we've got Feist adaptations,
one from Amazon.
Lord of the Rings, like it's just nuts.
Netflix is working on like 3 new ones from comic books and graphic novels as well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Next we have some big news. James Gunn is now on board to write Suicide Squad 2 and possibly direct. Warner Bros. Has confirmed that he is writing it, but they haven't said if he's directing it yet.
Oh boy.
I'm keen.
Yeah, right. I mean,
he might fix it after the fuck up of David Ayer, but apparently that was the studio's fault and not David Ayer.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was quiet about that for a long time, and then some recent tweets was like, "This is not what I made." Yeah, Warner Brothers needs to learn to fuck off. Hopefully, with James Gunn at the helm, especially if he's directing, they'll just assume that he knows what he's doing and will fuck off. And if that's the plan, if that's what happens, then at least we might see another rock solid DC film, and hopefully Warner Brothers just learn. Like Marvel's learnt, they go out, they headhunt really good, upcoming directors, they give them an opportunity to prove themselves, and from everything we've heard, they're not, completely hands off the wheel, but they give a degree of freedom that Warner Brothers just doesn't seem to be prepared to give to the DC franchise. I don't know, but I think this is, and it's just a fantastic slap in the face to Disney.
Oh, it definitely is, yeah. And David Ayer, who did the first one, he said that he pretty much gives his blessing to say, I think it's fantastic that he's directing it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And following Dave Bautista has said that he wants to be in it. I don't know how he feels about Marvel firing James Gunn, so he's happy to go wherever James Gunn does.
Yeah.
That's a big vote of confidence. Dave Bautista is a pretty stand-up guy, I've heard.
Yeah, so...
I've heard some rumors too. He's thinking about returning to WWE as well. He
will be very soon have like the 1,000 episode of Raw, and he's showing up in that, I think, or something.
Yeah.
So
next we have. I'm sorry.
So, based on speculation, who does Batista play in Suicide Squad? Do they include Croc or what?
Croc's already been done, so we'll go with Bane or King
That'd
Shark.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Because King Shark was supposed to be in the first one, but they didn't want a full CGI character, so they went to Croc instead.
Bane would be neat.
Yeah. And he's got decent size, so...
Oh, just
He
a
could do
little.
Bane.
Do you think
Yeah.
Batista's got just a little bit of decent size?
He's just a little bit bigger than me, you know, just a little bit.
Oh man, he'd use me as a toothpick, and I'm not small. He'd use me as a freaking toothpick.
Next we have Fox, the Disney merger, will pretty much be finalized in January, 1st of January, apparently. Which is good, which means that gives them about 4 months to quickly film a little end-credit scene to tie in Fantastic Four or X-Men or anything like that.
Right. I did hear a rumor that Dark Phoenix might actually be it might not be a Fox film in the end. It could end up being a Marvel Disney film.
I mean, because it's been pushed back to June now, so it would probably technically be under Disney, not Fox.
I suppose it depends on contracts and what have you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's all happening.
Oh, it definitely is. Next we have Black Panther 2 is moving forward with Ryan Coogler, who will be writing and directing it once again.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what the fans want.
Yeah, so I mean, this is big. Another big bit of news. I mean, don't know what they're going to do. Black Panther died in Infinity War, so unless Shuri's the new Black Panther, that's all they can really do.
Wow.
We're not going to go into things here, Toby, right? Black Panther died. Let's just leave it at that.
Wow. I mean, you know, wow.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in, I mean, assuming everything gets resolved one fashion or another, what sort of big villains in the Black Panther universe haven't we seen yet?
Well, he's a Spider-Man villain, but apparently Kraven was in an earlier draft, but I think Sony has plans for Kraven, so they can't put him in there.
Right.
But I don't know too much about Black Panther and his villains to speculate on who could be in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Another little bit of Marvel news. We have a 2020 release movie has been removed from Disney's schedule, and this will most likely be Guardians 3.
I would suspect
it makes
so.
the most sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But according to Benedict Wong, he has said that he thinks Doctor Strange 2 will start filming towards the end of this year. He said they'll start filming before 2018's over.
Yeah, so they're probably going to fill that slot up with Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
that makes sense.
I don't know who's going to be the new Doctor Strange. I mean, he died in Infinity War, so... I still don't know what's going
all these
on
films is just like bowls of ash, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, they're filming like Spider-Man Far From Home, which we got a good look at his new costume this week as well. But he died in Infinity War, so I mean, it's got to be a prequel, though, right?
To be fair, though, do you remember? Did you ever play? It was a while ago. It was like a mid-2000s video game, Fear. First Encounter, Assault, Recon.
Oh yeah, I played all three.
So clearly, Infinity War is a copy of that because Elmer like turns people to ash in that, and they disintegrate slowly.
Definitely.
So clearly, like, and that was published by Warner Brothers, I think. So they obviously have a right against claim against Disney Marvel for copyright infringement, right there, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. So they're gonna chuck that on before Avengers 4 comes out, and we'll never get to see it.
Yeah.
Or we will. It'll just they'll just override all the characters with shitty DC characters instead, and that's what we'll get. This is the new Justice League. Fuck the old one.
Actually, was it ever confirmed officially that in Infinity War, Cap and his friends were Secret Avengers? Or is it just sort of a fan name that was applied?
No, the directors said they were Secret Avengers, but that was about it. It was never stated in the movie, but the Russo brothers said that they were pretty much the Secret Avengers.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Next we have Maze Runner director is doing a Mouse Guard movie, which starts filming early next year, and I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, Mouse Guard, I haven't read it myself, but it's a enormously popular comic series. It's huge. It's very much an all ages kind of thing, so this is going to be, I imagine, no more than a locally PG rated film, and it could be quite big. Potentially, in terms of box office and all the rest of it, this could be really big.
It has a budget of $150 million.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
That's
I know
a lot to throw at a movie that I know a lot of people.
I know you and I haven't read it, and I doubt Connor's read Mouse Guard either. Have you? No, it's probably not that kind of thing. But they're all mice and they're all sort of knights and stuff like this. But it's a hugely popular comic book series. Hugely popular.
Is this like a prequel to Stuart Little or what?
No.
This is what it is. This is what.
No.
And Stuart Little's like one of the descendants of these like
No.
mouse knights or something like that.
No, absolutely
man.
not.
Well, I'm not watching it.
Well, you don't have to. That's your choice.
Yeah, well, that's $15 I'm not going to get from me, so that'll fuck him at the box office.
It flopped because you didn't go pay
Yeah.
$15. No,
That
it's
$15 from me would have made them break even, but I'm not watching it now.
I've heard enough good things about it that I will probably watch it when it sees a home release. So, anyway.
Next, we had a trailer for Pet Sematary, which is based on a Stephen King novel, because we all know since the latest It movie came out, Stephen King is hot shit right now.
He is. Well, his books are, yeah.
Yeah, adapting it into movies and TV shows. He's
Yeah, I watched the trailer.
so many in development. It looks a bit spooky.
Yeah, we'll see.
A little
I mean,
spooky.
the original film, obviously, adaptation wasn't too bad. This is, it's important to note out, too, like, this is, Pet Sematary is one of King's earlier stories, so before he kind of went to shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is not going to, I mean, spoilers, I guess, in some small fashion. This isn't going to have one of those stupid endings where you watch the whole thing, go, this is good, and then it has this dumbass ending where, it makes you think, what the fuck? This is just genuinely scary and brutal. So, as long as they stick to the source material, and what's interesting is they've also kept the original, well, I don't know if it's the original name, but the reason it's spelled cemetery is spelt wrong is because it's, the children put the sign up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the children call it the Pet Cemetery. Yeah.
I'm really worried that they don't really hit on the themes of grief and like the absolute breaking point of the human spirit, though. Like, when does supernatural become the best answer? Because that's the horror element of the book. That's what I really enjoyed about it, is like that measure of being human.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I said I didn't mind the original film adaptation. It'd be interesting to see how far they take it. But the good thing is these days is they don't seem to be pussyfooting around the R ratings anymore.
No,
You know,
because
a lot of-
R-rated movies are shown to actually make a decent amount nowadays.
Yeah, and a lot of the King stuff, sort of especially through the 90s and 2000s, was all like made for TV. So it just got dumbed down. It was shit. But anyway, yeah, cool. Looking forward to it.
Next, we had a little teaser trailer for the live-action Aladdin movie, directed by Guy Ritchie and starring Will Smith as the genie. For whatever reason, they decided to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, super brief teaser.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your childhood for you two.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember watching Aladdin at all. Really.
That's
I don't remember
right.
watching it, but it was
That's
the first movie I ever saw.
That's because Ethan is 12.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, hold on.
13.
hold on.
13 today. It's his birthday today.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
He's 13 today. And what's this?
I'm just saying when these two movies came out, right? Give me a sec.
What, the original?
It was
the original.
93, I think, Aladdin.
Yeah, it was mid-90s for sure. Early to mid. Just while he's looking that up, some interesting side notes. So the original scriptwriters were like, "Hey, thanks for giving us credit when you've used our work, like the diamond in the rough line and all that sort of stuff." The thing is though, like they can't do anything about it legally because there's apparently the way the contracts work in the States, from what I read, was that animated films work differently to live action films, blah 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 blah. So there's no legal recourse. There's nothing stopping Disney. They could literally one-to-one the original script and then give zero credit. The original scriptwriters were like, that we used to have a lifetime pass to Disneyland, and they revoked that, and it's like we've got nothing. Because I'd even take like a Disney backpack at this point. It's like nothing.
All right. Now, so Aladdin came out in '92.
Right.
Lion King was '94. I've seen Lion King, so that counts for something. And I've seen
Does it though?
Yeah, and I've seen Hercules, which was '97, and I've seen Tarzan, which was the best animated one, and that was '99. So
Nah, you're
Yeah,
confused. Nah, you're a
no,
bit
no, no,
confused.
no.
Where are you
no.
going with this Tarzan is the best nonsense?
It just is the best, all right?
Did you bump your head or something?
You put that Phil Collins soundtrack with that animated movie, and you just have fucking gold, all right?
Hey, Aladdin, man. Okay?
No,
and Robin Williams, where you going? Where you going?
Yeah.
I've got Tony Goldwyn as Tarzan. I don't know who he is.
No.
I don't know who he is.
Arguably Robin Williams' greatest performance of all time. Where you going? Where you going?
Rosie O'Donnell is Turk, all right?
No.
How about that? Brian Blissett, he's in this. There you
You're just
go.
looking foolish now. You're looking foolish.
But no,
Robin
I don't give a
Williams,
shit
man.
about Aladdin.
What?
I mean, the only thing I remember from, I know I've seen it, only thing I do remember is Genie. I don't remember anything else. Oh, and the bird.
See,
So
I know why our ratings go from like 100 one episode down to like 10 the next. It's because you say dumb shit like this.
Not me.
No, it's because you have this. You say dumb shit like this, and people go, "Fuck that! I'm not listening to the next episode."
Hey,
How
but
dare
after
you?
DC, we spike up though. See, so they're like,
It does.
this one was
Admittedly,
from
anytime we
DC,
talk about
so it
Marvel,
spikes
shit
up.
just spikes. And then we talk about Iron Fist, and it's like fucking crickets and tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Wonder why it's cancelled.
Right.
Well, let's move on to that now, shall we? We
Yeah.
mentioned that Iron Fist will not be getting a third season, but
Good.
with the press
Fuck off.
release, they said, well, the series on Netflix has ended. The immortal Iron Fist will live on.
Can
And
I?
then-
Can I? Hang on. Can I just
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
if we go
yeah.
back 3 or 4 podcast episodes to Iron Fist season 2, just quietly, who was it that disagreed with everybody else and said it was a steaming pile of shit? And I hope they axe it. Who said that?
Oh, that was me. That was me.
No, that was
You,
me.
you and Lucas, so you and Jesse raved about it, and I was like,
Nah.
nah, I don't think they're going to get
Don't
a
try
season
and
three.
change your shit now. You know it was me. God
If
damn.
you guys want to know, just go back and look at it.
Yeah.
Finn Burns will back me up. I've been DMing
Yeah,
him.
I was the one that dropped the bomb, and you're like, "You're wrong, man. This shit's good. Nah, this shit's fucked. It needs to
That
go
was
in the
better
bin."
than season 1.
It was
I didn't
shit.
say it was amazing. I
It
just said
was
it was better than
shit.
season 1.
I've seen better fight scenes in a bloody primary school. That was
Because
shit.
you were fighting the primary school students.
Yeah, that's right.
40-year-old man belting the shit out of kids. Yeah. Nah, it was terrible. I'm glad it's gone. Luke Cage, though, go on.
Yeah, Luke Cage has now been cancelled this week due to creative differences with the showrunners, I think, and the writers and Netflix and Disney and all that sort of shit. But along with that, with Iron Fist and Luke Cage no longer getting a season 3, the rumors are starting up that we may get a Heroes for Hire, which will act as a season 3 for both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently the
fine.
Heroes for Hire episode of Luke Cage season 2 was the most watched episode of that season.
Yeah, I think, look, if it's still all on the table and they're able to do this, it's probably the smart play. I'm not sure why you would just announce it's cancelled, though, and not announce Heroes for Hire.
Yeah.
It seems a bit odd. I guess we asked the question, what happens if there is no Heroes for Hire? What if shit's just cancelled, thanks for coming, yo?
Then I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
nothing.
I'm not going to shed any tears for Iron Fist. Don't get me wrong, I like the comic book character. I just think the portrayal in the TV series was shit, and the choreography was shit, and everything about it was shit. I mean, when Ward
But we
Meacham's your
still-
most interesting freaking character for 2 seasons running, you really need to go on a and I can't remember the actor's name, but that show, if nothing else, is going to launch him. Like his career, I would
yeah.
He's
imagine.
already been around.
He has been around, but I would imagine his career is going to pick up a bit now because his performance, especially in season 2, was the shining star as far as I was concerned. It was the most interesting thing in that whole thing.
But at least we know we've got a Daredevil season 3, which has just come out. We don't know about season 4, but we still have
No.
a season 3 of Jessica Jones.
Yep,
And we
'cause
still have
it's still
season 2 of
filming.
Punisher.
Yeah, it's still, and then Punisher 2 is finished filming, so
Yeah.
we're
So
expecting
we still got
both of
those to look
those
forward to as well.
next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if JJ3 and Punisher 2 wind up as well, to be honest, and they just do a Daredevil. It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, and then,
I mean, I don't hope it happens, but if it happens, I'm not going to be like, oh, shock. Like, it wouldn't surprise me.
they have said that any new Marvel series will go to Disney streaming service and not Netflix. So maybe they may want a Heroes for Hire series to be a launch for Disney streaming service. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Will they use that opportunity to reboot or recast? I wonder. If they go down that
yeah.
route. Because you could recast Finn.
Yeah, I really, really like Kristen Ritter as JJ, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she plays the part. I think you'd struggle to find someone to fill the part now, but for Iron Fist, though,
Yeah,
No,
he
you
was,
can't-
he was
you can't
honestly
take
pretty
him.
forgettable.
it was. And I think, but to be fair too, I think it's not just a case of the choreography and the acting. I think the scripts were for Iron Fist were largely
Oh, yeah.
shit. And you can take the greatest actor in the world, but if you give him a shit script, like, good luck.
Yeah, he spent half of season 1 muttering about Kunlun under his breath and nobody cared.
Yeah, by and large. Yeah.
Next, we have a Tom and Jerry live-action animation hybrid movie is in the works from the Fantastic Four director, not Josh Trank, the new Fantastic Four, the original Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. Now, this sounds like it could be sort of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type thing. or Space Jam. Could be along
fair
those lines.
Jesus, how old is Tom and Jerry now? Like, they've got to be like 80 years old or something.
Oh, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck cares? It's old shit.
What? What?
I don't give
The
a fuck.
fuck is... You're the worst. You're
I'm
the worst.
13. I don't care.
That, rebellious teenager. Look at me and my nihilistic attitude. There's plenty of people that are going to see Tom and Jerry. You just shut up.
Hey, you got 7 more years of this now, alright?
You alright? Hurry up and move out.
Alright, so... Next we had a second trailer for Glass.
Yeah, I'm sure you and Lucas just literally wet your pants in unison.
I did several times, and I watched it again, and I did it again, and I did it again, and I had used all my pants for the week, so I had to go buy more and to keep doing it. And then I started borrowing pants, and then that
That's just where shit got awkward, and you just decided to get some help.
Well, at first I got kicked out of the Target changing rooms from doing it in there too, so I left I'm not allowed back in any Target stores anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm laughing, but it's probably deadly serious.
I'm not serious, put that on record.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it gave away a lot. Like, it certainly
It
didn't.
did,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like we're going to get another big trailer before the movie comes out. Maybe just the usual TV spots or something like that. But, I mean, it's only, January I think it comes out?
Yeah, not long now.
January 18th, so not too long.
Yeah. It looked good. I mean, I'm not going to race off to the cinema like you guys will. But I'll definitely watch the home release. Now I've watched Split. Yeah.
And next we have, following on from Glass with Bruce Willis, he was in a movie called Airstrike, which apparently has been cancelled due to the Chinese actress Fan Bingbing, who's been disappeared and convicted of tax evasion charges.
That's really a name, isn't it?
Fan Bingbing.
That's definitely a name.
Well, her sister's name is Lin Bingbing. She's an actor too.
I shouldn't laugh, I'm sorry. You're not fucking with me though, are you?
I'm not fucking with you. Yes, I think that's her name. Give me a sec.
Yeah, she got done for tax evasion or something, and
Oh
then...
no, sorry, it's Li Bingbing.
Okay, right, okay. So yeah, she got done for tax evasion or some shit, which is a bad thing to do in America, and it's a really, really bad thing to do in China.
Yeah.
So she's gone and missing now, and we don't know
Yeah,
if...
for like 3 months she disappeared.
Yeah, has she eloped, or has she just been quietly turned into fertilizer? You just don't know.
Well, she's come out and said that she's going to try and overcome all the difficulties and raise the funds back to pay taxes and fines and all this sort of thing.
Said in the announcement that she has been disappeared, and I think that's a little bit more accurate.
I mean,
Has been disappeared. You bet she has. It's like all that entire Muslim community, like in China, has been disappeared too. Man, it's just some things you don't do in China. Breaking the law is one of them. Being like having a religion is another.
and
oh boy.
The movie was set to come out in about this coming Friday.
Right.
And it's just been cancelled.
Straight up. Like, was it going to see a worldwide release, or was it China only, or...
Yeah, well, look.
I'd be just curious to see what its release schedule was. Like, I mean, was it filmed in China? I don't know.
It's labelled as a Chinese action war drama.
Right, and then they just had Willis come in for...
Yeah, Willis and Adrian Brody, and it had Rumor Willis in it as well, so Bruce Willis's daughter, she was in it too.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But it was filmed in China, made in China, therefore they have the power to shut it down.
Yeah, Mel Gibson served as the art director.
Wow, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll ever leak.
Well, the film has cancelled all screening plans.
Right.
So maybe it could be like the interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen. It could just be released online at a later
That was
date.
they mocked North Korea or whatever.
North Korea one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be that one. It could be something like that.
All right, well, I guess we'll find out. That's an interesting one, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's it with the news.
Wow, yeah, that is a quick news for us, isn't it?
It wasn't a lot this week.
There was a few sort of looking through. There was some last minute trailers for things like Daredevil, but obviously that's released now. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to The Haunting of Hill House, which released on Netflix, a 10-part horror series. I know myself and Connor, we've watched the whole thing. You are not too fussed, Ethan?
I've seen little bits here and there, but I've heard about a lot of it, so I'll be
Okay.
right here in it.
Well, we're going to start off with spoiler free. So this is great. So if you haven't watched it, we're going to tell you why you should or shouldn't, and we'll give you some clear warning before we dive into spoilers. I'm happy to get the ball rolling, and look, overall, I thought it was quite good. The first 9.5 episodes were really, really good. The biggest struggle, of course, with horror is pacing and building of tension. And over 10 hours compared to 2, obviously a much bigger task. And I think, by and large, they did really well. There's a few very good twists. By and large, the acting was pretty good. Sets were pretty good. Scares were pretty good. And again, despite the ending, which really kind of spoiled things for me, I couldn't still say to someone, don't watch it. I think you should still definitely watch it for at least to enjoy those first sort of 9.5 episodes.
The important thing to know about the series is that it's not true horror. It's not enclosed. It's not scary every moment. I think it's first and foremost a family drama that has some very, very good horror elements. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. It's definitely got large swathes of drama in there that revolve around a family and its problems, yeah.
Yeah, but my point is it's not Woman in Black type thing where they're stuck in a house. It's like the Hill House is almost a misnomer, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I get, again, though, I think trying to do something like that over 10 hours would be difficult.
Absolutely.
And certainly by the end of it, because of all the horror that they were trying to put into it, it started to feel a bit like a Rose Red kind of Stephen King TV miniseries.
I like Rose Red.
You did? Yeah, look, to me, the problem with Rose Red, again, is it starts off strong and then about halfway through it gets the wobbles.
Yeah, it does.
You know, I've put that DVD on so many times where I watch the first half and then that's it, I'm done. Yeah. That's mainly because I feel King doesn't know how to write an ending. And that's kind of what happens, again, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but that's kind of what happens, I felt, with this. They didn't know how to tie it off neatly at the end, or not in a way that I felt was suitable.
Yeah, definitely. Even there are a couple of bits in the 9th episode towards the end that were fairly shaky, but you're absolutely right. About half to 2/3 way through that last episode, the entire thing just falls off the wheels.
Yeah, and it's a real pity because up until that point, I'm watching this show going, this is amazing. Like, they've done a fantastic job here. Like, I'm going to give this an amazing review. And then it's so, I don't know, it's so
noticeable.
It just such an impact on the rest of the show. I felt that it really dragged it down. It left me with a sour taste, really.
It's jarring. The shift is jarring.
Yeah. But leading up to that, yeah, there's definitely some good scares. I think that the house itself was pretty good. It was suitable. There's some excellent camera work there. I think it's the 6th episode, I think it is, where the storm hits the house. Again, not getting into too much spoilers, but there's a lot of long, like the whole episode is about 3 cuts. They're like 15-minute long each, without
I didn't
cutting away
notice
at all.
that
Like,
at the time, actually, but
yeah. As he's moving around the house and they're all looking at windows and what's going on during that storm, like, that's all one long take. Like, it's amazing. There's some great camera work. The sets are fantastic. There's a bunch of Easter eggs. There's so many ghosts and stuff hiding in the background if you want to look for them, which was a lot of fun because we spot some of them are more obvious than others.
It's definitely not a Netflix on your phone in bed. You definitely want to watch this on a television.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing, all of that was good. All of that was really good. There was some character exposition that probably needed more explaining. I don't think it's spoilery to say that some of the characters were clearly seen to have gifts, and perhaps that wasn't as explained as well as it could be.
Yeah, definitely. I missed this one that's very explicitly stated, and the others are just sort of like, it might be supernatural, it might not. It's just sort of never really explained, never expounded upon.
Yeah, it is, and you sort of have to try and draw your own conclusions a little bit. And but I mean, like, if that was the only wobble, it would have been great. Still, look, I would definitely say if you enjoy horror, and there's definitely a few James Wan moments in there that kind of feel like, Conjuring moments.
Okay, so it's a bit similar to The Conjuring. Then.
there is some moments like that, yeah, definitely, where he, like, you know, where one likes to sort of build that tension, and then he'll just sort of give you something, and it'll make you go, what the fuck? Right? He just has that ability, and there are definitely some classic moments like that, and there's some great twists, and yeah, I had goosebumps at a few points. But it's just ultimately let down at the very end there. So, but I would still, if you've got the time, go and watch it, because the journey, at least towards that ending, was very enjoyable.
One thing that really sold it for me, and I don't think it's too spoilery to say that there's some set in the past and some set in the present, and you see the children in young and old. One thing that really surprised me and really tied the whole thing together was that the kids, when they've grown up, the adult versions of the kids have adopted some of the mannerisms of the child actors, or maybe vice versa. I'm not sure how it was filmed, but it really, really ties it in, really sells it. Yeah,
definitely. And some of the acting on those kids was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, to get a kid to scream and react in terror, like, it takes fantastic direction and fantastic acting skills.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some horror films with kids before, and it's just like kids looking at the camera, and it's just a freaking mess, you know, and it's disingenuous all around. These were some really good some young actors there, and yeah, I mean, these will be the next Stranger Things kids in, you know, 5 to 10 years. Anyway, we're going to jump into some spoiler chat now for this TV show. So if you haven't seen it, check the time codes in the description so you can skip forward. But if you have seen it, or you don't give two shits like Ethan, I guess Connor and I are just going to really chew the fat on what pissed us off and get into it. So yeah, I mean, I'll let you take the floor here on this one, Connor.
Oh man, all right. Should we give him 5 seconds lead in just to skip forward?
Yes, go ahead. You go skip forward, people. All right, go.
Right, so that last half an hour, right. So they're all in the house. They're all in this room that's been locked from the entire time. They've never been able to get into it, or so they thought. More on that later. They're locked in there and they're terrified. And then they just kind of leave. And that's it.
Yeah. The power of love compels you.
Everybody comes clean about their dark secrets, and they save their brother, and the house just lets them leave. They describe earlier in the episode, they're riding in the car on the way, and the dad goes, "Oh, the house, it considers us an unfinished meal where this is the most dangerous place in the world for us." And they get into the room, and the house has got them, and it's goes, "Yeah, that's fine. Thanks, guys. On you go, rascals." Smack on the bum.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the final battle stops being between the family and the house and starts being between the siblings and the mother, who's obviously being corrupted by the house. And the house just becomes this background figure that has nothing to do with that final conflict at all.
Literally, one of the last scenes of them in the house is the denizens of the house in the background, following them but not attacking. It's just, oh my god.
Yeah. One thing that really irked me too, and it was so bizarre, and that's the story arc of Luke. Now, Luke's a heroin addict, and through the course of 10 episodes, we show him getting clean. He's off for 90 days. He's not touched the drug. He gets offered the drugs and he turns them down, and we see his strength. He's got this battle, this story arc of him coming clean, and we get to the final episode. Yeah, exactly. We get to the final scene, and this is in Dungeons and Dragons what we call a railroad, where the DM wants you to do something to progress the story, whether you want to do it or not. And so he has this hallucination of his love, I guess, the girl he's got a crush on, and she starts doing heroin, and she says, "Hey, you should do heroin with me," and he says, "No." "Oh, no, you really should." "No, I said no." And then she goes, "Oh, well, too bad you have anyway." And it just completely undermined all of the strength and everything. His entire arc just comes unraveling at that point, because he looks down and there's a needle stuck in his arm. Where did he even get the fucking needle from? Right? It's just like, it makes no sense. And now he's on the floor overdosing on fucking rat poison. And it was just so... It's almost felt like the producers came in and just rewrote the last half hour for whatever reason. Like, they just fiddled, because It would be like having Superman get shot dead by a bullet 30 minutes into the ending. You know what I mean? Like, you can't kill him. He's Superman. He's dead. What? Like, it was just that obvious. Like, it was so railroad. The fact you have to do drugs. No. You have to do drugs. No. Okay, now you're doing drugs. What? And it really did. And that to me, it was real night and day. The writing from previous episodes right up to that last bit, and then everything just went. It's really like somebody wanted to sort of somehow set up a sequel, or like, why didn't the house just kill everybody?
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
And it just makes it. You know, have we not read Lovecraft? You know, have you not read good Stephen King? He just kills everybody. And I can't understand why they didn't do this. And the only reason I can think of is because the producers go, "Oh, we want to leave it open for a potential sequel."
I was just going to say season 2 in.
Yeah, it really feels like that, which is shit, because there was enough going on that you could easily do season 2 and go forwards or backwards in time and show other stories. You know, how did the old fellow break himself up on the wall and all this sort of shit, his story. And the thing is, it's just... It's that same thing. The house had this story arc where the house is threatening, the house can kill you, the house is hungry. Oh, jokes, no, it's not. And it's so disappointing, because the rest of this series was so good, and then for everything to U-turn in that last 30 minutes was just horrible.
It totally invalidates any of the suspense of the rest of the series.
Yep. Yeah, it really does.
My running theory is that the mother, the house has become less evil since the mother was absorbed into the ghost mass that is the house. And that's the only reason they got out. It's like they skipped an entire scene where she's fighting the house to let them out.
I don't know.
I think that would have tied it together significantly better.
I loved the bent neck lady twist. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
Didn't see it coming until she walked into that room with the staircase, and I remembered the rope up there from earlier, and that was when I sort of went, I know what's going to happen. But yeah, well played. I thought that the tall man scene was scarier, actually, though, because
where he's pacing between the doors.
Yeah, like that was spooky, genuinely spooky. That was a great scene, because you got to see him a bit clearer, and he's just weird. And he's never explained, and that's when you don't explain things that they're weird and they're creepier. So I liked that. And there was some genuinely really good moments and some good scares. And it's just a pity that that they did what they did. I thought it was neat though. There's a scene, and I didn't guess. I kind of, but didn't guess the whole thing with the red room. I thought that was neat, where the room was different for each of them. I never spotted the window, like it never clicked for me until the end. I thought that was another really neat sort of twist. It was good. So there was some really good writing in there, and there was some really clever stuff. And as I said, it wouldn't surprise me to see some scriptwriter, post on Twitter in a few years' time going, that's not my ending. It really wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, not at all. So back to the negative for a moment. Let's talk about those the powers that the siblings had.
Yeah, well, Theo's is very obvious.
There's 5 siblings. Theo is the middle child. Is your very atypical, cold, frigid goth. Not really goth, but she's just that aloof character. And her power, it turns out in episode 4 or 5, somewhere around there, she, for some reason, has the ability to discern something's state, I guess, whether that's mood, state of repair, what it does, where it leads, just by touching it with her hands. Not any other part of her body, incidentally, because other things, I don't know.
Not her vagina when she's grinding it into her girlfriend's.
Yeah, or her face while she's, deep in. Yeah, but, so her mother sits her aside and goes, I got you these gloves. These will protect you from your power. You're special. Your grandmother was sensitive. Your grandmother has to, I think it was rug herself up because even a brisk wind feels like needles in her skin. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. And I thought that was it. I didn't realize that any of the other siblings had powers.
Yeah. There is, now this is actually not brought up, but there is an earlier film called The Haunting and this is also based on an earlier book, I believe. And so obviously some changes were made for this particular series. But what I've sort of picked up post was that all of the kids have some form of psychic or supernatural gift. The oldest girl has the ability, she's the one that's sort of screaming out future prophecies in her dreams.
That happens like once or twice.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. The twins have the connection that, a lot of twins have, but to the extreme, and they're also more impacted by the house. Stuart's the only one that really doesn't seem to have anything obvious in terms of superpowers. He seems the most mundane. So
yeah. Well, back to the twin power, No, go ahead.
No, I just say, I think they're all supposed to have some sort of gift at different, levels, and obviously so's the mother.
Well, on the twin power thing, I thought that was the case, and I got that inkling until, I can't remember her name now, the youngest one. Yeah,
Nell.
Whatever she's... Nell, yeah. Yeah, when Nell goes back to the house and hangs herself and becomes the bare neck lady. I didn't really... That threw me off, the idea that the twins had that bond, because all of the siblings wake up in the middle of the night clutching their throats going, Nell is in the red room.
Except for Luke, really, isn't he?
No, Luke wakes up
in the
rehab center, yeah.
Yeah, and that's right, yeah. And then he sees Nell. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But then Stuart sees Nell after Luke's done burgling him. So
that's right.
It constantly throws you off, the idea that these twins have that bond.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a sore neck, does he?
No.
He just gets cold limbs because she's sitting in a morgue.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Luke wakes up clutching his throat when she kills herself. But over the next few days, that twin bond thing is enforced by him growing stiff, him being cold because she's in the morgue and experiencing rigor. But it's just, there was enough to throw me off it that I was like, there's a twin bond, but I didn't realize it was strong as it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And we never really sort of figured out why her husband died. I mean, they say it's an aneurysm, but it was sort of like the bent neck lady would have been her. She wouldn't have hurt him. It doesn't make quite as much sense, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think she killed him at all. I think the bent neck lady just turns up on the worst nights of her life, I think is what's going on there.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah.
Because the first time is when she moves into the house, the first couple of nights that she's at the house. And the house is obviously the start of the chain of the worst things in her life. And then there's her buying heroin for Luke, which is a low point for her. And her husband's death, which is a low point. So, I guess
she's revisiting all the low points of her life, which would be another private hell, I guess.
Yeah, but it doesn't really tie that together.
No. Yeah, look, it could have been. Look, said if the ending was different and they'd sort of changed a few things. I mean, they had 10 episodes too that they could have done a little bit more exposition, but it's just that ending mainly for me. Like, I would have given this thing probably a good solid 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for that ending. But with the ending, I don't know. I'm really struggling to give it more than say 7.
Yeah, definitely agreed. That ending was rushed and killed it.
Yeah. But having said that, I would still tell people, if you've got the time, watch it. That 10 episodes, the lead up to that point is still an enjoyable journey. But just be prepared for the disappointment, I guess. And look, there's some people that might disagree, obviously. There's some people that probably find that ending to be perfectly suitable, but, good.
I guess if you're into a happy ending and you're not into Lovecraft, Rocks Fall, Everybody Dies, it's probably fine horror for you.
And they all lived happily ever after, lol jokes, they're all dead or insane. Anyway, we'll end our Haunting of the Hill House spoiler discussion there. I mean, if you've seen it, let us know what you think. Perhaps keep it spoiler free. If you haven't seen it, still watch it anyway. The journey was good. But we're going to dive into some spoiler free Daredevil season 3 now. I've managed to watch the whole thing. I was naughty. I was supposed to go to work, and I didn't. I stayed home and watched all of Daredevil. Where are you lads up to?
I just started episode 6 today.
Right. I'm well behind it on episode 3. I finished episode 3.
Oh, man.
You've got something to look forward to next
episode. Oh,
yeah.
So.
Anyway, spoiler free. everybody knows that I give an honest opinion. I thought Iron Fist Season 2 was a train wreck.
You're wrong.
That's fine. Obviously, Netflix agrees with me. To date, as much as I'm a Punisher fan, everyone knows that, I thought Daredevil Season 2 was the best Netflix show to date. I would probably put this just above it. And it's only just, but yeah, definitely I would put this above it. This was an incredible journey. I thought the camera work was fantastic. I thought the fight choreography was amazing. I thought the story was gripping. And it never, despite being 13 episodes, it never felt like it was dragging its feet. I have watched other, like, Luke Cage's, which I've enjoyed, but I've really had to push my way through to watch the whole thing.
Still haven't finished it.
I was honestly watching this going, I wish there was more episodes. It was exceptionally good.
Alright.
Exceptionally good.
I've enjoyed it up to episode 6. There's one scene in particular that I've seen everywhere raving on about, and Toby knows the one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a particular fight scene in episode 4, and it is easily the best fight scene I've seen in a Netflix Marvel show to date. I can say that very easily with great confidence.
I'm a sucker for no cuts, just one long continuous shot.
Yeah, it's an 11-minute take, and you'll know it when you see it. And it's I as soon as I watched it, I hadn't been online or anything. As soon as I watched it, I legit rewound it and I watched it another 2 times. Yeah. It is just that good, and I'm not going to spoil it. You'll just have to wait and see it. But it is really good, and it's just, especially coming off the back end of Iron Fist 2, which, you know, still, in my opinion, had very weak choreography. It was real limp. It showed you how it could be done right. You know, the hits feel real. You know, the knuckles get bloody. There's you know, bones are broken, and people get exhausted and sweaty, and it just feels legit. I probably saw maybe one sort of pulled punch, so to speak. You know, like it didn't quite look real. Apart from that, though, yeah.
Yeah, pretty top notch.
Now, I know where Connor's at, and we've sort of spoke previously on this. Like, the first episode of 2 is very much Matt feeling sorry for himself. And I know for some people, myself, and I know Connor felt this way, that you kind of go, oh god, not this again. Like, we see all these heroes, and all they do is complain.
Well, it's the Defenders every time.
Yeah, every one of them has a complaint. Oh, my life is shit. No one loves me, and I'm ugly and adopted. Yeah. It passes. It does. It's definitely present in those first couple of episodes, but it will pass. And everyone just gets on with the job, really.
To be fair, and spoiler-free, Matt's kind of got a better reason. Well, I guess it's not really a spoiler if you've seen The Defenders, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but look, it was certainly it was an interesting season. I'm not sure what happens now. I have to be sort of careful what I say here, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with the other characters. I wouldn't be surprised if Daredevil was to continue and it was just Daredevil, you know what I mean, like in terms of Defender storylines.
No, yeah.
It was a very strong outing.
Well, he stands alone fairly well, like, as a character.
Yeah. And he's very much one of those people that likes to sort of solve his problems on his own. At least in the reality of the Netflix series, but the acting was great. It was great to see Fisk back on the screen. I think I can't remember his name. What's the chap that plays him?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Vince. Yeah, I think he does a great job.
I'd watch him in anything he's in, honestly.
He just looks so big in this, just big. That's the thing, like
Imposing and powerful.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's. I think that's the point. I mean, the comic book character of Kingpin has no superpowers, but he is at the very top end of possible human strength, which you sort of get snippets of when you see him lifting weights and stuff in the episodes that we've had. Like he benches like 200 kilos or something like that or more. In the comics, he's able to like throw grown men across rooms. Because he's also got that sort of psychotic rage strength as well going for him.
Which I think D'Onofrio does really well in the series.
Yeah. I mean, it's no secret. It's definitely not a spoiler that we have Benjamin Poindexter appearing in this season. I don't think that's a spoiler, is it?
No,
really.
it was shown in the trailers.
Yeah. So he's playing what's ultimately going to be Bullseye. I just want to say that he's quite faithful to the source material, I found. If you're familiar with that character's story arc and his skill set and all the rest of it, his history, like the baseball and everything, it's all in there. And I thought that was really good. Although the trouble I felt with his story, and this is no spoilers, is just that it gets drowned out a little bit because the quality of the rest of the story is so good. So it's not that his story arc was poor, it's just that it's the rest is just so amazing that it's not quite up to the same level, I felt. So it's not a bad character and it's not a bad story arc, it's just, it's like standing your missus next to a runway model, you know what I mean? Your missus is still beautiful, but there's that 11 out of 10 there, right? And that's kind of what it was like for me. There was a little bit, only one or two scenes that I felt were a little fluff, like a bit redundant. I'm not going to mention them, but there was one in particular, and it's probably not what you think when you finally get to see the whole thing. But there was one scene I just thought, what was the point of that? Thankfully, it doesn't go for very long. It was only sort of 5 or 10 minutes, but I thought it might have been a perfect opportunity to do some sort of cameo or sort of like, oh wow, it's that character. And as far as I'm aware, it's not, which was kind of a bit odd.
Okay.
But and I won't get into cameos because you guys are all going to be guessing. Are we going to see any other Defenders? Are we going to see Turk? Are we going to see Temple? I'm not going to spoil any of that for you. You'll just have to watch it.
I was actually just going to ask you if Turk's in it or not.
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Rosario Dawson back.
I'll spoil it for you after the podcast. How does that sound?
All right.
Because I don't want to ruin it for our listeners, whether it be 10 or 105. God, it's weird. But yeah, look, it's probably beyond. Like as I said, Daredevil 1, Daredevil 2, and Punisher 1 are probably the only Netflix series I haven't had to sort of grind through. And this probably more than anything else, it just went so quickly. It just and again, 13 episodes and not 10, and it just the script writing and the story was just excellent. Like it filled those 13. There was no excessive fluff at all, and I was just reaching for the remote to be like, next episode.
Well, let's hope we get a season 4.
And I haven't felt that in a while. So yeah, I hope it stays. I hope it continues. I think they've got a great team. Don't change it. The directors, the script writers, the fight choreographers, the cast. Yeah. I will say though, and it's not, I don't think it's a spoiler, there wasn't any sort of lead into Punisher or JJ3. Alright. I don't think that's a spoiler, because I know we've had other stuff. It seems to, and make that of what you will, it seems to end well. So if it was to all get cancelled, as much as that would suck, unlike say Iron Fist, which leaves a lot of open questions and such, I don't feel that this would.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's good.
Alright. Well, I should probably shut up before I get too spoilery, but yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, do that.
10 out of 10. Probably the best, definitely the best Netflix. Yeah. It was great. There's no reason, I can't see why anybody would have beef with this at all. Unless you just don't like Marvel Netflix
you'd be
stuff.
surprised.
Unless you're like some sort of DC fanboy thing.
Oh, it's a good thing we didn't have Jesse on then.
He likes his Netflix. Alright, so what's happening between now and next fortnight?
Well, I'll be here for the next one.
Was it the 5th of November, I think, ish? So,
Yeah.
What have we got coming out?
Sabrina. You think I'm joking?
Really? Okay. You're keen for that, are you?
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. Why not?
We got any films coming out in the next 2 weeks?
Just having a look.
Well, it's got to be the pre-Christmas lull, right?
Yeah, it pretty much is, yeah.
generic slapstick comedy featuring Kevin Smith, no doubt.
Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Unfortunately, no, we don't. There's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's the 2nd of November.
All right. I don't know. I doubt I'll
That's
get to see
about
it, but I imagine Jessia will be off to see that one.
That's about it, I think, actually.
Okay, so it's pretty quiet, and then just a bunch of generic shit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And we got no Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or.
I'm pretty sure there was one other big one coming out next week, but I can't think of which one it is.
Are they rebooting Buffy?
Castlevania, that's what it is. The new season of Castlevania.
yeah.
That's out.
Oh, the anime.
You'll have to get Barney on to discuss that one.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's what it was.
Aren't they
Otherwise,
rebooting? I'm pretty sure they're rebooting Buffy, aren't they?
Not all Buffy. There's a new Charmed one out.
I'm pretty sure they're rebooting Buffy.
Yeah, they are, but that's not going to be out for a while. They haven't even started filming.
Like, I'm not saying like now, but
Oh,
yeah. Because what's her face gave her blessing. Not that she had much choice.
Yeah. No, not at all. But I think Joss Whedon's behind it too.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is.
Is it on Fox? Because it'll get cancelled.
I don't actually know. Probably wasn't on Fox.
Fox love cancelling shit.
They love cancelling Joss Whedon shit.
They love, especially when they put Summerglow in it. As soon as Summerglow touches it, it's gone, done.
Well, no, she was an Arrow, and Arrow's still going strong.
Is Arrow on Fox though?
No, Arrow's on CW.
Well, there you go. Fox just has it in for Summerglow. Just get that bitch out of here. Because she was in
Cape.
She was in Firefly, and Fox was like, get that shit out of here. Then she moved over to like Terminator Chronicles, and like, get that fucking shit out of here.
Yeah, that was gone.
And then Dollhouse.
And then she did Dollhouse.
Get that fucking shit out of here. Yeah, Fox
she was on The Cape, but that was NBC, and that was cancelled.
Right. So I think she's obviously pissed off somebody like in a previous life.
Yeah. And then she was on another show called Alphas, and that was cancelled. That was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Right.
So yeah. Oh, and then she was in Castle, and then Castle got cancelled.
Castle was going for so long.
To be fair, was Castle cancelled or just kind of ended?
No, it got cancelled.
Right. Okay.
And she was in the last. She was on the last season of Castle.
Right. Yeah. So she pissed off Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or something, right?
And Chuck. There you go. She ruined Chuck too.
Right. That's right. So she is literally the albatross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just ends everything. That's why she isn't in any movies.
She's the end times. She is the sole consumer.
You know that if a TV show's like, oh, we've cast some McGlow, you're like, oh, it's gonna die. It's leaving.
So what happens
if she joins the MCU?
No, don't joke. Don't you dare.
Summerglow is cast to the MCU. RIP 2018.
As Phoenix. As Jean Grey.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. You rebooted Jean Grey. Holy shit.
Oh, shit. Yep. No, she's coming. She's coming with the Fox characters. Fox sold her. Fox sold Summerglow to Disney. She's coming to the MCU.
Disney streaming service cancelled once.
Yeah, not only did she get all the TV shows cancelled, she got Fox cancelled. Now she's gonna sink Disney next. Oh boy.
Fuck.
Oh boy. Alright, well, I guess that's about everything for this fortnight. Thank you very much to Connor for joining us.
No problem, thanks for having me.
Always.
Baby.
Thank you as always to Ethan. Much appreciated.
No worries.
If you agree, disagree, have an opinion on anything we've said, we'd love to hear from you. Put it in the comments, whether it's on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're listening. Thank you very much to our Patreon supporters. Hugely appreciate it. You allow us to keep this podcast going and SoundCloud premium account. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next fortnight, hopefully with some more news. We hope you have some choice news.
Yeah.
Ethan won't be here, but I'm sure I'll scrape somebody off the curb and bring them in to replace him. And a roadkill would be better than Ethan at this point, right?
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. Where are you going anyway?
New Zealand.
You go to New Zealand? Why?
Yeah.
Why
For a holiday.
Why would you do that? I don't know.
I want to go to a concert, so I'm going to New Zealand.
Right. Okay. Has it got sheep?
What was that?
What?
Sheep? Making the sheep joke now. Fucking hell, it's 2018, Toby. Okay.
I know, right?
I thought we're done with that shit by now.
Alright. I'm going to sing us out. You ready? Happy birthday
Oh,
to you.
fuck off.
Happy birthday to
End it.
you.
End it.
Happy,
No,
Happy
just stop.
birthday, dear
Stop.
Ethan. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray. Hip hip.
Thank you.
Hooray.
You stop now. You stop now. So you just
Why
stand
was he born so?
Fucking hell.
Okay. We'll keep you on next fortnight, people. Thank you. Bye.